Okay, so I want to do a quick video on reseeding and how we manage grass in the first year of a reseed. Like reseeding, the benefits of reseeding are well known in terms of extra tonnages of grass. Reseeding costs money, and the general advice would be to reseed about 10% of the farm every year, or at least 10%. So when you think about it, that in that context, you know, the paddock that you reseed this year, it needs to last for at least 10 years before you'll be looking to reseed it again. And how you manage it in its first year is key to setting it up for a long life for 10 years or so. So here's an example of a paddock. It was reseeded by a one-pass system about 2.5 weeks ago. It's come good at the start. It was very dry, and germination it took a while for germination to come, but then moisture came, and in fairness it has I think the establishment is very good in it. But when you look across and you look down and you see the amount of open spaces, it never ceases to amaze me how from one seed you get one tiller, but then over the course of the next season, and probably over the course of this season and the next season, that one tiller will develop into a conglomerate of 5, 6, 7 tillers together, which then in turn fill in all the spaces. But how you manage the sward is key to that, especially in the first grazing year. And we'll discuss a bit more about that in another paddock which was reseeded and is after a couple of grazings already this year. Okay, so this is a monoculture of a tetraploid called Xenon that was sown the last few days of April this year. And now we're in the 15th of July, and it's already had 2 grazings already. So again, it just gives an indication of how, if you get quick establishment, and how quick these reseeds grow. But of course, when they're growing so quickly, we have to be able to control them. And if you remember the first paddock that we were in there, where we kind of gave the introduction, again, how open and how sparse it was. And effectively, that paddock that we were in down there will be like this, you know, covering the ground, with a lot of new tillers coming from the one seed, you know, within another probably 5, 6, 7 weeks or so. That paddock will be like this one, and this one is going to push on as well. But what is key to ensuring that this continues to produce more tillers and fill in the spaces is that we never let it carry a heavy cover for a long period of time. So we have to be able to react to how quick it's growing. As soon as it's up to an acceptable cover for grazing, you know, somewhere around that 1,200-1,300, I'd be inclined to graze it off. Okay, even for the first grazing, once it's over 500, 600, 700, then you graze it off. You graze it as low as possible, and then once it comes back up to 1,200-1,300 odd, again graze it low. Now remember, that might only take 16, 17, 18 days for it to recover back that quickly in good growth conditions like we have at the moment. So you have to react quickly. Again, the worst thing that you could do is let a heavy cover build in it for a long period of time. And how that affects the sward is that it blocks the light getting right down to the base of the sward, right down to these little, again, these daughter tillers that are down here. They're just looking for sunlight to be allowed to push on and grow. And where the canopy is closed, sunlight can't get to them. And then when you do cut it or you do graze it, the sward remains very open. So it's a key management aspect for managing a reseed in its first year especially. And that then, if we get that right, hopefully that'll create a very dense sward and allow it then to have a long life, you know, over its productive life, hopefully over 10 years or maybe even more. Okay, so again, just to re-emphasize how quickly reseeded swards grow, especially in the first couple of rotations. Here we have a sward again that was reseeded in late April. It got its second grazing about 5 to 6 days ago, would you believe? Okay, and look how quickly it's come back again already. Again, maybe a little word of caution. After this was grazed, there was a little bit of regrowth on it, and the farmer in question here actually spread some slurry on it, again on the assumption that the slurry would be well washed in before it would be ready for grazing again. But as we can see here, there's a lot of the slurry has actually remained on the leaf. And the thing about it is that this will be ready for grazing again, probably in another 8 or 9 days, this will be ready, because it's growing so quickly at a high growth rate period that we have now. So again, just understand how quickly reseeds grow. We have to adjust our management then to be able to control it also. Okay.